Hey, the first thing I feel like I have to do is apologize because I said last week that I was going to take some videos for you of Montreal, and I really was planning to, but I have not had time to do anything this week. So I hit Monday, and on Monday, I remembered that on the 27th, I had an essay due that was 15 pages, 50% of my honors history grade, and was on the historiography of Genghis Khan, which is a topic that I chose myself, but I had not read any sources. And so I spent every free moment that I had this entire week. I read like 5 books, I read like 15 essays, and I wrote a paper, and it still needs some editing. It exists though, but that's just all I did with my free time. And I learned so many interesting things, like the fact that originally the Europeans thought that Genghis Khan was this Christian king named King David, who was the son of Prester John, and the Mongols were like, don't know why they think we're Christian, but we're just gonna go with this. So they would carry a cross at the front of their armies to like fool like Armenia and Georgia as they were invading. And then once they realized that the Mongols weren't Christian, they were immediately like, aren't Christian? Must be the end times, right guys? Right guys? And then everyone was like, yes, definitely the end times. These people are from hell. These people are the worst. Prepare for the Antichrist to return. And then, as soon as that dies down, you get like Marco Polo and all these people being like, wait. No, actually, Genghis Khan and the Mongols were like peaceful, chill dudes that just lived in the mountains. And everyone is like, oh, yeah, definitely. And just goes with that until the 1750s, when Voltaire is like, I need a villain to play the French king. Genghis Khan would be a great choice. And then everyone else is like, oh, this is a great choice. And then for some reason, in the 1750s to like 1800s, everyone just uses Genghis Khan as a stand in for things they dislike. And then the Enlightenment turns super racist, and then everyone is like, the Mongols aren't developed. And then you reach the modern age, of course. But it's such an interesting up and down. It's like never in the middle. It's either like Genghis Khan is the best or Genghis Khan is the worst. Also, in reference to your trip to the Netherlands, or I do understand that Holland is not the Netherlands because I don't know if you remember this or not, but I have been to the Netherlands. I went to the Netherlands for several weeks when I was a child. So, the summer before I met you, yes, the summer before I met you, I went on this exchange program. There's this group called CISV, Children's International Summer Village, and they do a program where kids go for 2 weeks and live with another family, and then that kid comes for 2 weeks and lives at your family. And the thing about Bangor having a branch for this that's really interesting is most CISV branches are in like New York, London, and they're usually very wealthy children, right? But the founder is from Orno, Maine. So Orno has a branch, and Bangor kids go, and we're always like, just like, you know, like average income, and then everyone else is like, come see our mansions, right? And the 7 kids who were all supposed to go on the program had been planning together for like months, and then one of the kids, they decided at the last second that because of the heart condition she had, she actually could not go. But they needed another kid because every kid needed to have an exchange house, right? So one of the kids who did it was just lived down the street from me. And even though I was an All Saints kid and didn't know any of the public school kids, her mom was like, "Yeah, you guys should just send Catherine." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go to the Netherlands for a few weeks. It sounds awesome." So I went to the Netherlands for a few weeks. None of the American kids really liked me that much, but that was like fine because the Netherlands was amazing. My partner from the Netherlands, her name was Carmen, and they lived in this massive house with like tennis courts back there and a swimming pool. And for anyone watching from America, you think that means they're wealthy. But what you have to understand is that in the Netherlands, land is worth like 5 times as much as it is in America because of just how little of it there is. So they were like fantastically wealthy. And they also owned a house in Switzerland, and they also owned a house in Spain, and they low key thought that, like, I didn't know how to use the right forks. It was just such a strange, surreal experience. And then the other thing about it was that there's one night where we went to like the sushi restaurant, and the mom just ordered like everything on the menu. And we sat in the street, like on a table in the street, and ate it all, and it was just great. And then Carmen was like, "You have to come to one of my school dances with me," and I was like, "Sure, whatever." And she was like, "If the theme is white, and you don't have anything nice white." So in like the scene that really felt like, out of a movie, she like took me shopping to all these like really like rich stores and like talked to everyone in Dutch and like bought me a bunch of expensive white clothing articles. And I still have a few of the shirts. It was pretty crazy. The Anne Frank house is cool. It's unfortunate that you didn't get to see it. But my favorite museum in Amsterdam is actually the Escher one. And because Escher's just a really cool painter, like I think his pieces are cool. But my favorite part of it was that it is in the old Orange Palace. So it's a really cool historical building, and it has all these different stories about the different like queens and kings that lived in the palace as you go through. And I just really loved that. Oh, I should also just shout out to Neil Gaiman for keeping me sane. Because at the beginning of this week, I borrowed American Gods from my boyfriend because I love American Gods. It's just a comforting book for me. And every time this week I was panicking and I was like, I'm not going to get this essay done, I would I would read a chapter from American Gods and then it would be good. So, I should just say that like Neil Gaiman kept me calm and helped me get my work done. And that was good. I know what you mean about the haircut because I remember when I got my haircut and I had really long hair before I got my haircut right. And right before I went to college, I was like, it is time for a change. And I went with this picture of a pixie cut and I showed it to the lady in the salon and she was very suspicious. She was like, "Do you really want that much hair cut off? Like, look at how much beautiful long hair you have." And I was like, "Yes, I know this is what I want. I am done with having long hair. I am done with having to wash it." And she was like, "Okay." And that lady is excellent, by the way. She's still my hairdresser today. I still see her when I go to Bangor, and we talk about her kids. But it felt like I had shadow hair for like a few days, which was weird, but like also really nice because I knew that that was gone. And I just feel like this haircut is me. And that makes me happy because I want to look like my personality, and when I have long hair, I look like a doughy-eyed girly girl. But also, you mentioned Sadie, and I thought I would tell you this because I think this is really fun, at least. I helped Sadie make a D&D character for a campaign at USM, and her D&D character is a half-elf rogue who is just like a badass who's been living in the woods for a while, and she just really doesn't care about anything, and she, just like swears all the time, and it is just so entertaining to see Sadie play her. Her name is Mercedes, and that's just not what Sadie's like. So I just enjoy it greatly. Yeah, my only other thing of this week, which was a little bit of a disappointment, and I will preface this by saying I love my university. Like, I absolutely love my university. I have never had a bad prof here. I have never regretted my choice to come here. It is just, all of my classes have been excellent. But I really wanted to study Arabic in the Middle East, and they have no programs. I can't even do an independent study anywhere there except for Israel. And I recognize that several of the countries are a little bit dangerous right now, but Jordan isn't. Jordan is perfectly safe and has been for a long time. And I can't help feeling like there's something a little bit political in it. But I decided I'm going to go to the best Arabic program in Israel, which is at Haifa, which is the third biggest city in Israel. It's a port city. It has a sizable Arab population. I think it's going to be lovely. I think it's going to be a really good experience, but I just would have rather gone to an Arab country because then I feel like I would have gotten more immersion in getting my Arabic better. Your housing thing is interesting too because, like, at McGill, I don't know if you know this, but only freshmen stay in dorms. And then after that, you are on your own. So that's why I ended up in my apartment, and I'm very lucky that I found my two lovely roommates. Especially Rebecca. I really don't know what I would have done for housing if I hadn't found Rebecca. But so in my first year, I didn't even really stay in a dorm. I stayed in a skyscraper downtown because the school ran out of space for dorms. The building was called EVO, short for the Evolution of Student Living, and it was an experience. We had a pool in the building, we had 2 restaurants of drastically varying qualities, and it was just always crazy. One time there was a wedding in our lobby. One time there was a Halloween party downstairs that was like so loud we could hear it on like the 20th floor. Always an experience. So, never had a normal dorm experience. It sounds interesting. I don't know if I will ever have one, probably not. I'm happy with mine though. Anyways, next week is going to be a lot chiller for me. I'm going to actually breathe once I pass in my essay. So I promise I will take videos of Montreal for you and just actually do something interesting. And then you can hear about it. Anyways, bye.